looking at the article. The article printed in the Metro. Well, it's been printed in many different places actually. Many different places, publications. And without much further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the article is titled, Eddie Hearn states that Anthony Joshua could retire after the Andy Ruiz Jr. fight. Now I'm presuming he means whether he wins or loses. But I don't know. I haven't read the article. I like to get surprised. I like to just go with the headline and see what evolves. But I'm assuming he means wins or loses. But we're about to find out. Okay, so let's go. Let us go. Okay, so Eddie Hearn expects the winner of Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz Jr. to push for a unification fight with Deontay Wilder. Though curiously, he hinted that AJ could opt to retire even if he wins his belts back. Okay, so I was right. Wins or loses. Okay, so the two heavyweights will face off once again in December, this time in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Though their two great rivals, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, have yet to officially announce a date for their own rematch. Okay, so it was expected to take place in February next year, but two cuts incurred by Fury, sustained against Otto Wallin, the Swede, coupled with Deontay Wilder's still yet to be announced fight date with Luis Ortiz, could easily see the Wilder-Fury rematch postponed or pushed back. Okay, let's move along. Okay, here we see the reason Anthony Joshua ended up fighting Ruiz. Big belly Jarrell Miller popped dirty for 3 strong PEDs, as we all know by now, or most of us will know by now. What was the first one? First thing he popped for was GW 1516, a fat burner and a performance enhancer. Then there was the HGH, human growth hormone, helps the body repair and regenerate. Especially useful after grueling workouts or in conjunction with grueling workouts. And of course, the EPO, something you can only get in your system by injection. That's something that popularized, I think, by the Tour de France riders. It increases the red blood cells in the blood. Obviously, blood cells in the blood, yeah. It increases the red blood cells, which are, of course, the oxygen carrying cells. Oxygenates the blood, more oxygen to the body, muscle tissue, keeps you fresher for longer, increases endurance dramatically. Okay, so if we're talking about retirement, Eddie Hearn was asked if the winner of Joshua Ruiz would be keen on a unification fight for the WBC belt. Of course, for those who don't know, the WBC belt is the only belt lacking. It's the only belt that Anthony Joshua lacked as unified champ. All the other belts are with the now current unified champ, Andy the Ponce Ruiz Jr. Who's calling the Ponce for short for the purposes of this article. The Ponce. So, asked if the winner of Joshua Ruiz 2 would be keen on a unification fight for the WBC belt. Hearn told Boxing Social, for sure. The only focus for AJ is to win the fight against Ruiz. I think if Ruiz was to win, then Al Heyman would try and make the fight with Wilder ASAP. If Joshua was to win, who knows what he's going to do. He might retire, who knows. But all our heads, all the focus is just on beating Andy Ruiz and AJ becoming the unified heavyweight champion once again. For the third time. For the third time? For the third time. For the third time? Is that right? Or is it for the second time? He's only been unified champ once, surely. So how would this be for the third time? So let me scratch my head on that one. Okay, but so what would Joshua do if he were to retire? If he were to retire? Go into business? Well, he's already in business. Just continue with his business pursuits? Or what are we looking at here? What are we looking at? Some modeling stuff? Some modeling stuff? People are talking about acting. Some of our American friends who I've been conversing with said that he's an actor. Said that he's an actor, so he might as well just go into acting. So my response to that, well, he did a damn good job acting as unified champ, acting as a champion. When he beat Charles Martin for the IBF belt. When he beat, that was fine acting. When he beat Vladimir Klitschko. That was fine acting. And picked up the vacant belts. When he beat the vacant belts or what? The WBA and the IBO. And then when he beat Parker, Joseph Parker, for the WBO belt. That was some mighty fine acting. That was some mighty fine acting. So my response was, why don't Wilder get into acting? And get more than the WBC, the belt he's been sitting on for 4 years. Why doesn't he go into acting and win some more belts? If he's an actor, then surely he's already earned himself an Oscar for becoming unified champion as an actor. Okay, so where are we going now? Where are we going now? Okay, so yeah, maybe or just live the celebrity lifestyle. Is that what he should do? He's a businessman. He's an actor. So does that not equal celebrity? Maybe. Okay. So asked if Joshua would still be the A side against Wilder or Fury. Hearn added, it's the biggest fight of the year. If Joshua beats Ruiz, he's bigger than before. He's bigger than before he lost to Ruiz. A side, B side, who cares? Let's just beat Andy Ruiz first. Hearn says sparring will be crucial. Let's move this along. Sparring. Why did this come up? Oh, I get it. I get it. Let's move that one over here. Foes. This was just after the brawl. After Mike Tyson charged Lewis. Remember? Pre-Lewis Tyson. He charged him on the podium. I guess this was after the brawl. They're holding Lewis back. Okay, so I guess the pertinence of this this issue is foes became friends. Well, actually, it was friends first, then foes, then friends again. How does this fit in with the story? Well, of course, we've got the beef stew betwixt the two. But friends can become foes. And then friends again. So maybe after Joshua retires, friends who became foes can become friends again. Okay. But anyway, let's finish this article. So, Hearn says sparring will be crucial to Joshua's plan to avenge his previous defeat. Telling Sky Sports sparring is key. This time we've identified more sparring partners. This time we're bringing in half a dozen fresh guys who should suit the style of Ruiz Jr. better. Oh, suit the style of Ruiz Jr. better than before. Well, I see what the issue is. 5 weeks notice. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I guess 5 weeks notice. That doesn't leave much time to identify the best suited sparring partners. Okay, I guess that's a legitimate statement. Yeah. Whereas on the flip side, you could say that Ruiz Jr. just fought. Who he fought? Dimitrenko? Yeah. Alexander Dimitrenko. Yeah. And Dimitrenko, I believe, is in the 5 foot, 6'5", 6'7" height. 6'7" height. So Ruiz had just had a full training camp for a 6'7" guy. So you can say he had 2 training camps. He had 1 training camp for Dimitrenko, 6'7" guy. I think Joshua was 6'6". And then of course he had the second shorter training camp for Joshua. So I guess, yeah, a strong argument to say that Ruiz had 2 training camps for Joshua. Even though he didn't know. Nobody knew he would be facing Joshua. Okay. So Eddie Hearn goes on to say, yeah, this time we're bringing in half a dozen fresh guys who should suit the style of Ruiz better. It's difficult to replace, so difficult to replace to start to replicate the style of Andy Ruiz. The guy is 6 feet, 2 inches. Is he 2 inches? 6 feet, 2 inches? Although he's 6 foot flat. He's 267 pounds, and he's got the speed of a middleweight. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. What's he doing there? That is interesting. That is interesting. So, this time around, they're gonna have the proper preparation. Yeah, Ruiz doesn't look as short as I thought he was. Maybe he's 6'2". Maybe he is 6'2" after all. What does BoxRec say? 6'2". Interesting. I had him down as 6 foot for some reason. Okay, so this time better preparation. Better preparation for Joshua. But according to Eddie Hearn, whether he wins or loses, who knows? He might retire. Do I think he's going to retire if he wins? Absolutely not. Do I think he's going to retire if he loses? Highly unlikely. Still young. How the hell is he going to want to go out on a loss? Even if he loses and decides to retire, I'd expect him to still give himself another couple of fights. Another couple of fights just to make the thing look decent. Round it off properly. Don't want to go out as a loser. Who wants to go out as a loser? Who else is in the top 10? He's already beat Alexander Povetkin. He's already beat Dillian White. He was supposed to fight Jarrell Miller. Luis Ortiz declined, turned down $7 million. That's probably what's holding up the fight with Wilder, because he wants his $7 million. Kubrat Pulev, did he fight him? No, he was supposed to fight him. Adam Kawanaki already beat Joseph Parker. So, who could he fight? Yeah, he could tidy the thing up with Kubrat Pulev, but Kubrat Pulev's waiting for a title shot.